Greetings. Welcome to another mini lesson, this one on ideas and details. And this is a concept that's pretty near and dear to my heart. I can remember many, many years ago now when I was first started teaching the school that I was working on my master's at, which I don't know why I said it that way, but Clemson. I was at Clemson getting a master's, and I was a teaching assistant. And the book that was assigned for all of us to use in teaching freshman composition was called Ideas and Details. And I believe it's still in print. I don't know what edition it's in now, but that was a long, long time ago. But the opening of the book said something that has never really left me. And I want to share that with you today. And that is that good writing equals 25% ideas and 75% details. So, why is this so earth shattering? I think the biggest reason that I really still appreciate this formula is that most people believe that writing is all about ideas, that you have to have some kind of grand idea, or that you have, such profound ideas that you need to share with the universe. But the reality is that most of what we convey in our writing should not be about the ideas, but about the details that support those ideas. So what do we mean? What are ideas? What are details? What's the difference? So the first thing, of course, is definition, right? What is an idea? It's a thought. An idea is something that is intangible. You can't actually hold it in your hand. In an essay or a writing situation, you want to think of the thesis statement, which of course we define as having as stating the main idea of the essay as a whole, and topic sentences, which we define as stating the main idea of an individual paragraph. So those are the ideas. And what that means then is the rest of that paragraph or the rest of that essay should be made up of details. So what is a detail? It is something specific. It is something concrete. When you are writing papers, like say an argument essay, as you will in English 110 at Post, it's facts, it's statistics, it's the expert opinions that back up the position that you're trying to prove. It offers proof and support of the idea or ideas that you are trying to talk about. Details are often tangible. And so every paragraph's supporting sentences should be made up of details and not ideas. One of the best examples of, excuse me, one of the best examples of ideas and details that I've ever looked at is political campaigns, right? Every politician will say the same thing. I believe in education. That's an idea. It's a great idea. But when it comes time to show us how you believe in education, we get real light on the details, because realistically, if you want to support education, it means that somebody, taxpayers, have to pay for it, right? So when a campaign says, I believe in education, if you try to get that candidate to specify how they plan on supporting education, they get really quiet on the details. So that's a great example. Let's look at a couple more. So one of my favorite birthdays ever was my 5th. And it all started when my grandma Susie and grandpa Croco, that was what I called him. I wrote it out correctly, Crocker, but I called him Croco, picked me up and took me to see a movie. We saw Charlotte's Web. And while I still love it to this day, I was in tears all the way home afterward. When we walked into the house, I got a look at the most spectacular birthday cake ever. Atop my cake was Cinderella, Prince Charming, the ornate carriage, and 2 beautiful white horses. That sight dried my tears almost instantly. The whole family had gathered and burst into song. What an experience. Now, this is a true story, as you might be able to tell, from me calling Grandpa Crocker croco. But let me show you what parts of this paragraph are ideas or thoughts and what part are the details. Favorite birthday, that's an idea. Still love it, that's an idea. Love is a concept, it is not something tangible. Spectacular, that's kind of a value judgment, so that would be an opinion. Beautiful, same thing. What an experience. That's an idea. Everything else in that paragraph is made of concrete and specific details, such as going to see a movie, the movie's title, Charlotte's Web. My tears, those were tangible. They were very, very tangible. And the spectacular Cinderella birthday extravaganza on the cake. Definitely, definitely a detail. Let's look at another less personal example. One of the most important aspects of learning is embracing a reading practice. It is the key to building one's vocabulary. It invites interpretation and thought, leading to critical thinking. Some people will argue that only academic and lofty materials should be on the reading list, but all reading makes our synapses fire and can, therefore, be very effective. Reading a lot also helps learners become better writers. Reading fiction and nonfiction can feel different, but any reading is good for the brain. Now, let me just pause for a second before I highlight, literally, the ideas. See if you can pick out where there are thoughts and intangible ideas and details. All right, let's see if you got it right. So this one is even more detail-based and less idea-based. So this is what I want you to be thinking of. When you are writing your papers and your paragraphs for your assignments at Post, I want you to be thinking about that percentage. Only a quarter of a paragraph should be the thought or the idea that you're trying to prove, and the rest of it is going to be made up of details. So that is your next goal, is to work on that level of detail, and the more specific that you can be, the better. So happy writing with ideas and details.